In our first video, we looked at David's education on mercy in a humble sheepfold, as the Lord stated in 1 Chronicles 17:7. Now therefore thus shalt thou say unto my servant David, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I took thee from the sheepcote, even from following the sheep, that thou shouldest be ruler over my people Israel. Then we spoke about how David was able to show mercy to those who hurt him in spite of being from his own household, even going as far as crying out. And the king was much moved, and went up to the chamber over the gate and wept. And as he went, thus he said, O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for thee. O Absalom, my son, my son. And in this lesson, I want to look at some extreme mercy from the man after God's own heart. I found an interesting definition on mercy in a simple Google search, and it said, compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. Now, David was quite a polarizing figure, meaning he was either extremely loved or extremely hated. In fact, there were times that the love for him brought hatred. While the women are in the streets singing, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s, this brought Saul to say in 1 Samuel 18:8, They have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. This later becomes Saul trying to kill David with a javelin. Now, David was anointed to be king, yet he had a great obstacle in the way of that fulfillment. One sitting on the throne. And Saul knew this. Saul didn't desire this nobody who was a son of a nobody to replace him. In fact, his son Jonathan's love for David even brought more hatred from Saul. In 1 Samuel 20, then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of this perverse, rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness? For as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor thy kingdom. Wherefore now send and fetch unto him unto me, for he shall surely die. And Jonathan answered Saul his father, and said unto him, Wherefore shall he be slain? What hath he done? And Saul cast a javelin at him to smite him, whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David. In fact, Saul became so consumed with this that he chased David all over the country with his army. Two such occasions found David in control of Saul's life. 1 Samuel 24:1. And it came to pass when Saul was returned from following the Philistines that it was told him, saying, Behold, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all Israel, and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came down to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave. And Saul went in to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. And the men of David said unto him, Behold the day of which the Lord said unto thee, Behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good unto thee. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privily. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. Even when David had power to take Saul's life, he didn't. He showed mercy. Then we see in 1 Samuel 26 another similar situation. So David and Abishai came to the people by night. And behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground at his bolster. But Abner and the people lay round about him. Then said Abishai to David, God hath delivered thine enemy into thine hand this day. Now therefore let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear, even to the earth at once, and I will smite him the second time. But David would not allow it. David desired no harm to come from Saul. Remember that definition on mercy? Compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. That throne belonged to David. David had every right to kill Saul, but David had mercy. Mercy that was impeccable. Mercy that was unlike any mercy seen before. Even after David is king, he still has this mercy towards his enemies. We see David in his time of exile, running from Absalom and hiding. And 2 Samuel 16 says, And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and all the servants of King David. And all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, Come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Lord hath returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And the Lord hath delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. Then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. Now know that at this point David had never done anything to the house of Saul, but was loyal, even when Saul chased him, even when Saul threw javelins at him, even when Saul had power to kill him as he slept. And Shimei had no reason at all to mock David, because David had done nothing to the house of Saul. So what does David say to his servant? He says, What have I to do with thee, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord has said unto him, Curse David. Who shall then say, Wherefore hast thou done so? Remember when I said that we have seen mercy from David like never seen before? Well, it probably wasn't seen after until Jesus came on the scene. We read in Matthew 5:43, Ye have heard it hath been said, Thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. This kind of mercy is unparalleled. The sure mercies of David. Tomorrow we will talk about that ultimate mercy, the mercy of Jesus Christ.